Over the past 20 months, I've grown from 3,000 to more than 400,000 followers on LinkedIn. But more importantly, I've helped more than 600 entrepreneurs to grow businesses on the platform too. Right now, there is AI everywhere. It is AI slop. And to stand out, you need to tell people why they should listen to you versus someone else. You can give the same advice as other people, but they need a reason to trust you and buy from you versus others. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 6 top ways that I've used to build trust, drive leads, and stand out in an AI saturated feed. And really it's about connecting your content to experiences that AI can never replicate. The overarching theme is that all 6 ways to build trust require putting more of you in your content. Putting yourself out there makes you feel uncomfortable. I decided to make this video in the first place because I was talking to a bunch of business owners a few weeks ago, and a lot of people felt hesitant about sharing pictures of themselves on LinkedIn. They were self-conscious, particularly about getting feedback on how they look. So when I first started posting video content, I was self-conscious about my lazy eyelid. This right here, it's lower than the other one. And guess what? People did comment on it and it didn't feel good, but it wasn't as bad as I imagined. Just putting yourself out there is the best step to making you realize that that fear is not that bad in reality. And I tell you that just before I get into the actual meat of this. So now on to the actual strategies. The first method of standing out is what I call authority hooks. Here's an example of a post that has an authority hook. A CEO friend of mine raised 40 million at a 400 million valuation. 2 years later, the money's gone and his ARR is flat. So what Adam did well in this post is that he immediately establishes authority. In this case, it's the fact that he knows an important person, or it's with your own achievements. There's no place for modesty on social media. You need to tell people why they should listen to you versus anyone else. So the reason that this works is that it immediately establishes you as an authority, either from your direct achievements or the fact that you know important people and have access to real insider lessons. Because it tells people, wow, I'm going to learn something that people who are really top performers are doing. So the formula here is that you either reference one of your achievements or an achievement of someone else that you know in your hook that you're going to then describe. And then you get into your teachings. This works really well for past jobs you've had, clients you've worked with, mentors, companies you've built, but it must be real and relevant. It is the battle scars from these experiences that make people want to listen to you. Tactic number 2, personal journey hooks. So here's a great example I saw on LinkedIn. The opening of this post, if you see here, Christina hooks with her personal experience. Everyone on my team is now smarter than me, and I regret not doing this sooner. You see there that there's some vulnerability here. She admits that she had this belief that she had to know it all, and then shares what changed and what she learned in the process. This also feeds into an underlying LinkedIn theme, which is that you should always try and hire people who are better than you. That goes viral all the time. And so what she did here is she combined 2 things together, her personal story and then a viral topic. And why this made people feel a bit closer to her is that she connected it with her human experience. It's not just some general success story or general statement. It connects with her actual story. What is the formula here? The formula here is that you admit some flaw in your hook and explain what you used to think or do incorrectly and share what changed and what you've learned. People are curious about the struggle. They find it a lot more interesting than perfect success stories because everyone else is on their own transformation journey, and that's what people want to follow along. They want to be inspired by you. The really important thing here is that you're specific and honest about the journey, because that's what makes people relate to you and trust you, but it needs to have a full story behind it. So you need to have gone from some mistake to some better outcome to show that transformation. If you want to find more posts like this and you want to build your personal brand faster, you can join the more than 600 creators in the Say What community. Click the first link in the description and start your free trial today. Now back to the content. So tactic number 3, and I use this all the time, use a caricature of you. So here's a post that I did recently that got, I think, 300,000 or 400,000 views. And I use this caricature all the time. It is a caricature of me with a green hoodie on, which I wear in all my content because it helps create signature branding. And as you can see, the caricature looks like me. The reason that this is effective is it creates a visual that is instantly recognizable and adds personality before people even read. They know when they see this content that it is mine because it is my caricature. And I basically use this on every carousel that I do. And the value here is really you're creating a distinctive brand identity that stands out from the feed. Okay, so that's great. How do you actually implement this? So what I did, I took a picture of me and I put it into ChatGPT image generation and just played around with it basically until I got a caricature that I was happy with. And then whenever we do a carousel with me, we change the facial expressions and the picture to suit the content. So when does this work well? So it works quite well for carousels and infographics. I'll typically do this as part of my top of funnel content, which is meant to attract a broader audience. And then I'll have photos of me for my deeper content that helps people get to know me a bit better. Next is method number 4, behind the scenes conversations. So here's a great example. 4 weeks ago, I had a call with a SaaS co-founder who'd been stuck at 2 million ARR for 12 months. And what you see here is that when we go through the post, it walks through in a conversation style format. which shows a dialogue between the founder asking questions and the writer here providing an expert point of view. And what you're doing here is you're just writing a problem solution post. You're showing your work in the wild and how you'd actually approach problems, as well as your methodology. So what is the structure here? The structure here is that you take a specific client situation, anonymized if necessary, and then you just walk through a dialogue that you create based on a real life conversation. You have to include your diagnosis, your solution, and the outcome. And what this does is it establishes you as an expert by showing you doing the work rather than just talking about it in the abstract. So here's tactic number 5, pictures of you doing the work, not just selfies. Here's a great example from Lara. It's a picture of her on stage giving a talk. What this does is it immediately establishes authority and credibility, because for her to get on stage, surely people must respect her and she must be someone of note. What this does is it gets people to stop the scroll and see you as an authority in your niche. This is great if you're an entrepreneur, particularly if you're young, to overcome the fact that people may perceive you as young. And what she does really well here is she shares a story that goes with this about being a reformed people pleaser. What worked really well here is the picture and the story that goes with it, where she talks about some of her fears and struggles. Okay, so how do you actually apply this yourself? Get photos of you doing the work. Maybe that's sitting at a desk working, in a coffee shop, traveling for business, at events, paired with some honest story about what you're struggling with. That works really well. It works a lot better than selfies, which is a common mistake I see here. Because frankly, often selfies come across as low status, and we're trying to position you as trustworthy and high status. Ideally, we want less polished photos, like someone's just capturing a picture of you in the wild. We want these photos to look like someone just dropped in on your life. We don't want it to just seem super polished, because people can see through that. A common mistake that I see people make here though is they start going off topic. They start talking about what their dog likes to eat for dinner on Thursdays, which is just not relevant for their business. The important thing here is that you keep this really on topic for your target audience and your business. So tactic number 6, videos with you. Here's another example from Lara. I think she does this really well. So you see here the text hook. Last year I created a writing framework that thousands use. Want to try it? Watch this video and see how it works. So what works well here is that, again, she's on stage, so it positions her as someone credible, and it combines educational content with that. What the video does really well here is that people see and hear her. It's not just her words, and that builds trust a lot faster than any format. And that's what people remember you by, video, frankly. So what types of videos work? Ones where you're teaching frameworks like this one. You're walking through your process, all day in the life that show what behind the scenes building your business looks like. And it's really important to be consistent here, to let your personality show through. That means showing you in different settings, it means teaching different things, it means giving people some variety to help them get to know you better. So these 6 tactics all connect your lessons with your experience. Authority hooks show that you've done it. Personal journey posts show that you're human. Caricatures add personality and are memorable. Behind the scenes conversations show your expertise. And pictures of you show you doing the work. And finally, videos let people actually see you and get to know you better. What I'd suggest is pick 2 to 3 that feel natural and use them consistently. That means every single week. Because remember, your personal brand isn't about being everywhere. It's about being authentic in ways that you are comfortable with. Now, if you want more strategies for building your personal brand on LinkedIn, join the Say What community to get the frameworks and tools that I use to help people build authentic brands on LinkedIn today. Click the first link in the description below to start your free trial today, and I'll see you in the next video.